Hello, everyone. We are on another episode of Nation on the Rise. Today, we have a distinguished guest, Kak Ahmed Benavi, a businessman living in Calgary, Canada. He has been in Canada since 1994. He arrived to Canada as a landed immigrant. He's one of the first Kurdish people living in Calgary. Ever since the community has grown, and Kak Ahmet has played a major role in bringing the community together there. Kak Ahmet, welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's always good to see you, Mehmet.
Yeah, same here. Kak Ahmet, I would like to introduce you properly with your story, because you also have a story that's the story of the Kurds. Uh, the, 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 the first thing that I know about your past is you belong to a family who was escaping Saddam's terror. You were escaping from one part of Kurdistan, escaping Saddam, to another part of Kurdistan, but one was called Iraq, the other was called Turkey. But you were escaping from one terror to another trap, maybe. How was that experience? How old were you by the time? Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yes, like I'm originally from Duhok in southern Kurdistan, and my dad used to be in the Kurdish Revolution and the Peshmerga in 1988. So there was like a chemical weapon being used against the Kurdish nation in Halabja and other area as well. And after the Iraq and Iran fights was over, and then Saddam Hussein turned against the Kurds, and it is called Anfal in 88. And that time, so our family, like just other thousands of Kurdish family, we were lucky one, we can make it cross the border by walking for 3 days, and we enter in southern in Turkey. So that's where we're in the refugee camp in Mardin. And that was the hardest part because Mardin is Kurdistan as well, and you are in the jail, like pretty much in like our refugee, like in your Kurdish city. We were like 18,000 in one camp, so it's like about 4 kilometers square, and it's all fenced, and there was surrounded by the Turkish army, and we were not allowed to even go out. It was a very difficult life. I was at that time around 15 years old, little boy, and we had no hope at that time. One day we can return back to Kurdistan because it was still Saddam Hussein on power at that time. And when we came to like Mardin or Kurdistan of Bakur, so we were not allowed to go out. If once a while they let us go for a couple hours, sometimes we never return back. We just escape. We go to like Diyarbakir, like Batman, the other city, to meet the other Kurdish. And at that time, the Kurdish was prohibited in Bakur, so
Still,
nobody was speaking at all at that time. Like I mean, in the street. So what we do, even we were kids, but we were trying because we were wearing Kurdish clothes. We called Peshmerga, all of us, and we were going to all the market everywhere. We were saying just speak Kurdish, speak loud, just like others, to know we are Kurdish, and just cheer them up. And that's what we used to do. And at that age, that was always my dream because I know there was no hope we can return back to Kurdistan, and I know like we were in the very very hard life in there. So that was only option we have to be a refugee, go to some other country. And I was like at that age, it was my dream to go to one of the English country, and I knew I could do more. So what I was doing always used to be they give us like some sugar and rice and stuff in the like paper bags. I was cutting them like small, and I was sewing them, and every day I had to learn 10 English words. I said, first I have to learn the language, so have more opportunity or chance I can go out. So in 2 years, pretty much I learned English by myself.
wow.
And then one day I see there is a Canadian embassy come there, and they say they need 300 people to go to Canada. And I was running, and there was one gentleman, actually he's in Vancouver right now, he was interpreter at that time. So I went to him. I know him because me and him we could speak some English, like so we know each other. I told him, please, like I mean, let's line up, write the name, and then he can call one by one, and I just get into the lane. Everybody was looking at us over there. People have no hope. Where is Canada? What about Canada? Nobody was serious about that kind of stuff. And then I ran. I told my dad, okay, Canada embassy is here. I write our name. Are you guys coming or not? If it's not, I'm going anyway. She said, yeah, we're coming anywhere, because my dad was tired of Turkey and all those, like fall, or like war and stuff.
Yeah.
We went there. When I get in, I still remember the ambassador name was Tom. When I see Tom, maybe that was happiest moment in my life. I told him, "Hi, sir. How are you?" Just shaking hands and stuff. He said, "Oh, you speak English?" I said, "Just a little bit." He was so happy, and he said, "How big is your family?" We said, "We're 10 sisters and brothers." And my dad said, "Wow, Canada will be great for you." He shook my dad's hand, said, "Congratulations." I couldn't believe that. It's just something like happened. And then we were waiting for our visas. So, because after uprising in southern Kurdistan, most of the people they went back, and we had 3 camps in like Mardin, Diyarbakir, and Mush. They take all of us to Sulupi camp because there was some other people from there. They came in 1991. So when I was there, so maybe me and 2 other friends, our English was better than everybody else. So we started working for UNHCR for 2 years for free volunteer. And at that time, I was teaching the refugee camp, like Kurdish kids, in the morning, grade 4, 5, 6. I was teaching them English in the morning for like 5 hours. And in the evening, I had adult course for the adults. And believe me, because of that, I know like lots of people, because when they went back to Kurdistan at that time, because the English was not good there, and in 1991, yeah. So they said our English was better than teacher, and and they were so proud of themselves because they speak English and everything else, whatever. So most of them right now, they have very high education, like wow. Master degree and all stuff like that. So because of that English and stuff we learn in the camp. So that's where it starts from. And the day when you get my visa, because we were landed immigrant, it used to be a long visa they given to us. The moment when I look at my visa, one side, the tears coming down from my eye, because I said, I'm going to be out of this jail in camp in Turkey. I don't want to see this anymore. I was just going to get out of there. That's just to get out of there. But when I look at when I read in my visa, when it says like nationality, it says stateless. In that moment, I never forgot that moment. I said, okay, this has to be changed one day. So that in that moment when I came here, we came to Canada, and that was the first thing I said, no, we are free. Now we can do more for our people and raising Kurdish voice. Because before, whatever we've done, nobody heard us. Like sometime, maybe in a year, one time, if Monte Carlo or Voice of America or somebody just say Kurd, we were happy. But we never heard the name of the Kurds in any of the world's media. I said, now we have opportunity. Now we are here ourselves. So now we have to. And it was very hard time. Sometimes we go see some people, tell them, oh, I am Kurdish. You said, where? I said, from Kurdistan. Most of them will ask me, oh, Kurdistan, which side of city, which neighborhood? So there was nobody know about the Kurdistan or Kurdish people. So that's why I said we have to do something. We have to get there. People know about Kurdistan, what's happened to us, and now we start making friends. And my first job when I did in here, I came to Calgary. First, I came to Saskatchewan for 1 year, and then we moved to Calgary. The first year we moved here, I said we have to do something. Like we're trying to talk to the people and young generation, because at that time most of the people they came from like refugee camps, and all of them they came from like Kurdish revolution, and then most of them didn't have education, and they came here no language, no money, no experience. And grew up in this democratic country. We came from third world countries. It was very hard. And some of them have 5, 10 kids. They didn't have that enough money. They didn't know how to direct their kids. And it was very hard. I said, okay.
So you felt that you had to assume a leadership role.
Yes, exactly. And that's the first thing what I start. I said, okay, let's try to open a Kurdish school. We work for an organization. It's called the Calgary Mennonite Center for Newcomers.
Mm-hmm.
So we started with them. We were like, four people from here. We opened a Kurdish school. So by the Kurdish school, we could bring 70 students. Like most of those kids, is we first teaching them about the Kurdish language and Kurdish history, Kurdish culture, and how they can like live or survive, with this society. And we try to, because we know the parents, most of them, they couldn't understand the society here. We're trying to direct them. We're trying to give them advice. We're trying to, get them together. Just they don't get out of control because their parents, they didn't have that kind of understanding of
Correct.
living in this democratic country. So that's what we did. And we were getting paid like 20 hours a week, and sometimes, believe me, we were working like 60 hours a week. We were all volunteer. We were working. And then after that, we thought it's very important because to establish a Kurdish magazine at the same time, in what I was spare time. And it was very, very difficult because even myself, we never had computers. We never had like a background of writing or stuff like that. We have a very hard time. I remember all our department organization we worked for, we had one computer at that time, only one computer. Sometimes we have to wait till our turn, and sometimes we come after hours, after everybody leave, so we can have a computer for ourselves, so just typing and doing everything else. It was very hard. And at the end, as you know, there was no like a scanner or anything. We were taping everything, writing, printing out, and we have some pictures and stuff. We had to cut with a scissor, make sure it's the right size, put it over there, and copy it. Sometimes it didn't fit in or something go wrong. You have to start all over again. So that was the time. That's how we make a magazine. But the reason we were making that magazine, it's not. I'm not calling it even as a magazine, so somebody can have like a strong article and read it or publish it everywhere else. No, the only point we were making that magazine, like any successful kid, or he get a good mark, or he better than others, or in the sport or something. We were trying to put all their pictures and stuff. It was basically for local, for the city of Calgary, so the other kids can see themselves. Oh, I can be in that magazine too one next day. And we tell somebody, can you just write us a few lines? Can you write a little poem, little something? So we want the Kurdish kids, just to say, oh, I can do this too. I can keep writing something too. I can be better than him too. Just to those kids to be connected, to tie to the Kurdish, so and make it some, like a challenge between them, who can be better, and they start writing, and in the future they can be maybe a good writer. Maybe they can be like a good, like a sport or something else. So that's how we started from there.
That was in Calgary. And then this was like in 94, 95, right? 94,
yeah, that was 90,
at this
95,
period.
96,
And I
yes.
think, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the Kurds at that time would be the Kurds from Iraqi Kurdistan, right?
Majority of the Kurds in North America, they was all in from southern Kurdistan at that time.
Yeah, like today, when I look at it, it's 30 years later. Right now, it's 2024.
Yes.
I arrived to Vancouver in 2018. The previous settlers, the previous Kurds, the first generation of Kurds, let's say here, are actually from Roshalat, from Iranian Kurdistan, and there's a new generation. Like I would say, because of the turmoil in Syria, they will have a community of Syrian Kurds here, and then there's a new wave of Kurds coming from, I would say, Turkish Kurdistan, Kurds from Turkey. So we are obviously, when we speak with each other, our naming of Kurdistan regions are different, right? Turkey is, we don't say Turkish Kurdistan, it's Northern Kurdistan. Iraq is Southern Kurdistan, and Syrian Kurdistan is Rojava. So 30 years have passed. Now I'm sure Calgary is the same. It's more mixed than when it was in 1994, 1995. Am I right?
Oh yes, of course, because I just wrote an article about like history of Kurdish in North America. Actually, I haven't published yet. So who are the first Kurds came to North America, and then how many waves they came here, and what our challenges. So maybe that one it is a long article. It'll be more information I'll publish soon. That one. So maybe you don't have that much time to go over everything.
Mhm.
But at that time, like I said, was in 94, 95. There was a majority of the Kurds are here. They were from like southern Kurdistan, like I mean southern Kurdistan, and at that time we had so much challenge too. As you know, like I mean Kurdish division, and we came in different waves. Like I mean, some of them came from revolution, some of them they came after that when Saddam was in power. Some of them blaming each other, and then. And then also like I mean we have different dialogues, and like I mean sometimes we do like for example we had a Kurdish call that said why is not this dialogue, said why we write a magazine.
Yeah.
Some people like blaming why there is no Sorani, why there's no Kermanji, why there's not this ones. And we had a hard time because we couldn't write, and we didn't have the writer to write all these different dialogues, and we were not good at all the different dialogues to can write. So
Also, we
it was
have like we some of us we use the Latin letters, and the others we use Aramaic letters, which looks like the Arabic letters, right? There's
yeah,
also that. That not only
absolutely.
dialect differences, we also have script differences. We have a lot of
Yes, it was
differences.
kind of really hard for us at that time, but still we never give up. That's one thing
Mm,
you should never give up it, because always when I sometime when I use too much pressure on me, when I'm always trying to slow down, it's come back to my head. Stateless, you're stateless. You have to work harder. You have to work harder. You have a goal. You have to achieve that goal. Doesn't matter what happened. Like I mean, never give up. Like I mean, that's what I did. I never give up. So like we were keep like I mean helping those people. It's not only just the way. If I can go back, there was no cellular phone at that time. There was no Kurdish channels or TV. We couldn't even call back home. We couldn't even call. There was no even phone in the
correct.
hook. We sometimes have to make appointment. Somebody comes somewhere. We have to call that number. So like I mean, somebody has to go tell him, let him know. And if we make one phone call, like for back home at that time, because we didn't have a job and stuff, they're all in social program and stuff. Half of the family salary will go for that phone. So we couldn't afford to make even that phone call. It was very very difficult time at that time. And the second problem is because most of the people here, they didn't speak English at all. Like I mean the parents, because they were like coming from revolution, they couldn't even read and write their own language. Like I mean it was very difficult for them. So at that time, and if you go to like any of the government service places anywhere else, they said, okay, what language you speak? We said Kurdish. Kurdish, they keep searching, because Kurdish is not a country. It's
Mm,
not an official language. They didn't have Kurdish language anywhere. Some of them they never even heard of it. Said, oh, what is Kurdish? Like I mean, where's Kurdistan? And sometimes they look for like an interpreter. Sometimes they couldn't find it. It was impossible. You said, can you find somebody? Because we cannot find somebody because in speaking in this language. So what we have to do, believe me, like I mean, every day, that was every day's job. I have to go with all those family, like I mean, parents, teacher interview was all of them, go to the hospital with them, go to board of education with them, go to like social service with them, go to everything with them. We were like 24 hours like serving our people, like all of the stuff. Just we can just survive, because and then as you mentioned earlier, when the other waves came, so in 1996 there was some other people they came because they were in back home. They used to be working with the US Army and stuff. They came to
mhm.
North
Yes,
America, some of
yes.
them. And then after that I've seen our our sister and brothers like Kildian, like Christian. Most of them they came here. Then believe me, I was helping every one of them as well, like all those families, their families, go to their wedding, go to their parties. I'm trying my best to make connection. We are all Kurdistani. We are all Kurdistani. Doesn't matter, you're different. They don't call themselves their Kurds. but they're from Kurdistan. They're Kurdistani.
Yeah. Like
So
this is one challenge I'm also having. Like when I met Kurds, actually, this is whether I'm in Kurdistan experiencing this or abroad or including Canada, right? When we meet with each other, like when we face the world, each one of us, we are Kurds. We face the world as Kurds, and
yes,
that's our demand, right? Recognize
yes,
as Kurds. We are not Turkish. We're not Persian. We are not Arab. We're a different nation. We're a different people. We have our distinct culture. We have our own history. So
yes,
we have against the world, we have this unified face. But when we are with each other,
yeah,
there our
yeah,
challenge begins actually. We speak more than one language. We like to call them dialects, but let's
yes,
say dialects of each other, but it's not a unified language that all the Kurds understand. And
yeah,
we, and they have their sub dialects which can be very strong. Like I speak Berfarati. When someone from speaking Berfarati Kurmanji versus someone like you from Duhok
yes,
Kurmanji, we will not understand each other, even though the grammar is the same. They're very strong dialects. And then
yes,
think of someone Kurmanji and Sorani. If they have not spent time with each other, they will not understand.
yes,
Then we have Gorani and Zazaki and
yes,
Dimilki.
yes,
So when we ask here for a Kurdish translator, actually, we're not doing the right thing because we don't have one language. We have one
yes,
identity. It's the Kurdish identity, but we
yes,
don't have one language. And we
yes,
also have different scripts. The Kurds in Armenia are Kurmanji speakers, but
yes,
they are used to using the Cyrillic alphabet, the Kurds in Kazakhstan.
yes.
So that's our third alphabet. Actually, that was our first alphabet, first developed alphabet, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we come here, but the problem is not actually linguistic. So if we go to Kurdistan, we'll see that religion is also a major component of Kurdish society.
Yes,
If you are
yes,
Yazidi, if you are Alewi, if you are Sunni Muslim, if you are Shia Muslim, if you are Kakai, so and Shia Kurds in Kermanshah, for example, we also have this like religious diversity within the Kurds, which does not play a major role when we are abroad. But the real fracture in the Kurdish community is our political parties back home. And this, I think, is the biggest challenge because people divide themselves or identify themselves based on their political affiliation. So they are the supporters of party A or party B it becomes the real identity among the Kurds when they are abroad. So, but you are a successful person in that. You are able to bring the Kurds together. How do you do that?
Well, like I said, the first you have to first believe in yourself, and then you have to believe in Kurdistan, your land. Like I mean, that's have to be your first priority. Like I mean, other than that, yes. Like I mean, for me, when like I said, when I was here, then the other waves came. You know, like I mean, people from Roshalat, from like in southern Iraq, there used to be in that Ramadi camp. Then they camp. Then I helped most of them in different ways to find them a job, and I had also my own company, helping them how to like buy the car, buy the house. Like I mean, give them advice, like give them a job till they just started, till they can have some experience to go somewhere else. And then when after genocide, Yazidi camp, the same thing. Like I mean, so I have a hard time to to get into their community and to bring them to the work with us, whatever. So when you believe in that stuff, you can do it. If you don't believe in it, because I met with so many Kurdish activists, Kurdish high educated, they always asking that question. I said, oh, because like I mean, Kurdish are divided, Kurdish like this, Kurdish hate each other. Some of the Kurdish said, if he's Kurd, I'm not Kurd. If they're judge, they're this, they're that. And when I look at them, I told them, first of all, you are one of them. You know that you're one of them. You hate all
Mm.
everybody else too. You don't even you're even worse than some of the other non-educated. So first you have to believe in yourself. So for me, first thing, it doesn't really matter where part of Kurdistan, what religion they are, what political party they belong to. I am pretty much friends with all of them. Even if they don't accept me, I will still go. I will still go there. If they have some activities, if they have something, I would go there and happily and donate and be best friend and tell them, if you need anything to help you guys. If you do 2 3 times, then they will do the same thing. They will come to you too, to help you too. Like, I mean, that's how you have to be. I believe in soft politics. Like, I mean, trying to don't hurt somebody. Sometime if you right now you're asking me if I want to tell you something, maybe it's wrong, whatever. I cannot tell you straight. First, I'll tell you, Mehmet, this is my problems. First, I tell you what's wrong with me, and then you will realize that you said, oh, actually I have this problem too, in here and there. Then we can talk. I'm not perfect, you're not perfect. Like, I mean, let's just sit together, let's talk together. We're not perfect, like none of us. So that's
Yes.
how I believe in. That's how I believe in. And when you help in all of them with no difference, so everybody will respect you. Everybody will love you. Other than that, I know, like I was talking about in 90s, we had a very hard time at that time because like I told you earlier, so because of the different dialogues, because of the different, like, I mean, waves we came here, they don't like each other, those waves. They have biggest problem with each other sometimes, actually. And then in 1990s is, we have all this Kurdish political party fighting each other and all stuff like that. But then sometime you have to be the one who said, okay, I don't believe in this fight, I don't believe in this division. So, like, I mean, I have to give you right too, because if I said, like, I'm believing in this and this because I am from the hood, so I cannot make you to feel to think the same as me because you're living in somewhere else. You're in different situation. I have to understand you too. I have to accept you. First, I have to put myself in your shoes. So if I was you, if I am living in there, so what I was going to be, maybe the same as you.
Yeah. Okay. So you're basically, if I understand correctly, your formula is to be selfless, to not to be part of these fragments, let's say, of the Kurdish society. And so what happened recently is you have been recognized for your efforts in bringing the Kurdish community together and actually being an active member of the Canadian community, not only Kurdish community, right? You have been awarded the King Charles III coronation medal. So congratulations first on that.
Well, thank you.
And
Thank you.
and that's an honor for all of us Kurds that one of our own has been awarded a medal in Canada, an official medal. Do you want to tell us a little bit? Maybe I should have said already, like, you are very well connected with Canadian political system as well. Like, you have friends and you advocate for the Kurdish rights, and you are a volunteer not only for the Kurds but also community in general. So
Yes.
please tell us about that.
Well, like I said, like, again, because first, we're all human beings, and then you have to, and when, like I said, always, I don't know why that point is stuck in back of my head. I never can forget stateless, and when I came to Canada, how much I get hurt for that, and then when I go tell somebody, like, where I come from and I need a job or something, they don't, like, look at your resume because you don't speak English, and like, you have a hard time, and then you say from Kurdistan, they say, oh, which neighborhood and stuff like that. That stuff always stuck in my head. When I see anybody newcomers here, I remember those days. First, I want to just to make him smile, trying to make him happy, trying to see, I know about your culture, I know about you. You guys are great people, and trying to just make it very easy for him, to trying to help him out, giving him a job, just for a few months till he gets some experience, till he learn, till he can how to work, go find job somewhere else. And some of them even tell me, okay, we apply for another job, but I'm going to give them your number as a reference. They will call you. Don't worry, just tell them to call me. Do some good words. You're a good guy. Don't worry. Even they live in my job, they go to somewhere else, but I'll be happy for him to find a better job, to go somewhere else. So when you do all of those, and when you can bring all those communities together, and our relationship, like, when with the like, especially conservatives, because this is the home of conservative, like, Alberta. And as you know, most of those strong politicians, like Jason Kenney, like, Stephen Harper, and most of those MPs, they are from, like, Alberta. So I'm not saying it's only me who did it. Like, I mean, there's lots of other activities, Kurdish friends in Calgary. They have different way relationship with all those MPs. And as I said, since last 30 years, we established 8 Kurdish communities in Calgary, 8 before diaspora. So most of
Community
the,
organizations, you mean?
yeah, 8. Like I
Yeah.
mean, and I was in all of them, and some of them, believe me, we have like we're from all part of Kurdistan. Some of them we have like some of the, like, there was highest educated people in there. We did so many things, but at the end they didn't last long, maybe a few years, whatever, because of the division, stuff like that, or somebody trying to control or some whatever stuff like that. During all those years, we built up a good relationship with all the, especially with the government, like I mean MPs from conservative in Calgary, and most of them, before they became MP, we had to go help them out, knock the doors, like I mean tell them we're here for you, making some town halls, bringing all their other like National Day celebration as well as Nowruz, the other ones. They get so familiar, we're excited with the Kurdish people, and we're always telling them this is what happened to us in Middle East. We're a nation. We believe in freedom.
Yes.
We're fighting for
Yes.
freedom, and we have all different dialogues. We have 5 different religions. We all live together in peace. We are different than everybody else. For us, it doesn't really matter. And when they get familiar with this, when they know this, oh, do we have this kind of people in Middle East? And when all of those like MPs, whatever, they look at us very, very, like one of them told me one day, just never forget. He told me, I know most of those Kurds, maybe some of them before you. Like I mean, I came to so many of your events and demonstration and parties and stuff like that. He said, but one thing I missed. I told him, what did you miss? He said, I didn't know you were behind all of this. Behind the curtain, it was only you running the show. But I told him, well, it's not just me, but I mean, I don't want to be front line. I don't want to be front line always. It's not good to be always in the front line. Sometimes you have to be behind the curtain, like I mean, trying
Yeah.
to make things working out, whatever. And because of that, because he said he know who was it behind the show, and that's why maybe they selected me, and they talk to other communities, like especially Kildgan communities, especially like Yazidi communities, and not just the Iraqi. Like I mean, most of the other people, like I mean, Sudani, Filipinos, like I mean, Iraqi Arabs, the other communities through the work. I helped so many of them, and because he knows the other communities as well, they see they all know me. I'm helping all of them, same like other ones too, and that's why maybe they select me. Maybe you are the one helping all those many different communities and people. So that's how they told me, we would like to nominate you for this prize. You deserve this. If you're accepting it, if I said okay, of course I accept it, and that's how I get like a King Charles medal. And when I get it again, for me, like I mean, it was something like I want to go back to the like my life. Little boy came to the refugee camp, had no plan, trying to like I mean make his own copybook and try to learn English and come to here. And today I am receiving King's medal. Like I mean, like it was like for me something it was unbelievable. Okay, did I do this? Like is this real? Is this
Yeah.
real? So like I get to that point, one person can do a lot, and that's all I hear from every Kurdish activist. We are not united. We are divided. We are having different dialogues. We have different problems. I don't have all of that. Believe me, I don't have all of that, because for me, because there was like uh, I can see two of the main dialogues, like Kurmanji, Sorani, and most of like Zazaki, they speak Kurmanji. Most of the other ones like the Harami, whatever, they speak Sorani. For me, it's no different. I can speak both of them. I can read and write both of them, because it's not it's not harder than to if you want to speak Sorani right now, it's not harder than to learn English. If you want,
Hmm.
in 6 months, you can read, you can write, you can learn.
True.
So it's not a problem. Like not a problem. For me, I have no problem with none of them. And for me, I believe in all of them, and I try to be my best when I speak Sorani.
Yeah.
I try to make my best Sorani. I try to write Kurmanji, whatever. When I write articles, I am from like Badinan, right? From Badinan.
Yes.
If I write one article in Badinan, I write two in Kurmanji, two in Surani, because I want to be good at all of them. Because not only
Yeah.
just knowledge, only just
Yeah.
one. I start from myself. If I start
Yeah.
from myself, everybody around you, they will look at, oh, if he can do it, why I cannot do it? Why his Badini? Why he's writing in Surani? Why he's writing in Kurmanji? Maybe you will say, okay, maybe I'll try to write in that dialogue too. Like I mean, that's how
Yes.
I try to do. And for me, there was no different, because like I said, all this community came here, like all this, like was a Christian, Yazidi, Jewish, like I find a few Jewish family here. I get to them, make them a best friend. They always come to my home. I go to there. I tell them, like, I mean, about the Kurdish people, how many are there? Like there's
Yeah.
150,000 Kurdish there. I make connection with them as well. So because for me, like, I mean, a religion, it's something between you and your God, in your
Yeah.
God. But other than that, we're all Kurd, we're all Kurdistani. And
Yeah.
that's why when it comes to the Kurdistani diaspora, that's why I was so active, because I said, okay, this is the Kurdish dream. One day we all can work under one flag, and we're saying Kurdistani diaspora. That means you don't have to even be Kurd. You live in Kurdistan. You're Kurdistani. So that's how exactly I've been doing for the years. And when I see this happening, and this is the name, said, oh, this is what I've been looking for. This is what I believe in. This is what
Yeah.
I can be good at. So that's how it is. And for me, like the King medal, like I mean, I'm very happy. I'm proud of it, and I am proudly Canadian citizen. And I love this country who gave me this opportunity to come here and build a family here. And I have a beautiful family. I have a wonderful wife. I have 4 beautiful kids. Like my oldest daughter, she is studying science. It's her last year in university. She works full time Air Canada. And my younger one, she's taking criminology. She wants to be a lawyer. Like my son, he's still in high school, but he's doing great. I have a little one. She's my sweetheart. So like, I mean, when I look at all of this, I couldn't do this in Turkey or in Iraq or somewhere else. Like, I mean, they give me all this opportunity. And when I went for my citizen test, I read that book. Used to be a book, yeah, at that time. I get my citizenship in 1997. When I used to be reading that book, it says like to be a great, like how to be like a good citizen. I try to be a great citizen, the best citizen, like helping others and love this country, because this country gives me opportunity. This is my country. Like this is my country 100%. Like I'm Kurdish Canadian. My kids are Canadian. Like I mean, we can keep our culture. We can help our nation. Like but we're Canadian. We live in here, so we have to do something for this country as well. Because what I'm saying, our people are missing is when something happening in back home, when we don't get the support of those nations, we cannot do anything without their support. And sometimes we blame it on everybody. Why they don't helping us? Why they don't helping our enemy? Why they don't helping other one? I said because it's our fault. Because it's our fault. Because we don't know what's important to them to do. So like if I am a good Canadian citizen, if I'm getting a medal, if you're a good Canadian citizen, if you are tied to this politics, if this country loves us, we are better than other nationalities or our enemies, whatever. Of course, they will help us over there too. That these people are amazing. These people are perfect. These people even here, the way they do in Canada, they love this country. They help in their democracy. They are love everybody else. So of course they will love us. But if they see we are not, then they will say, maybe they're not even good for themselves. Maybe they can, so what they going to do for us? So like, I mean, that's how I look at it, because everybody look in a different way. And you mentioned about religion and stuff. I don't want to talk about religions so much, because I don't want to be, because like in our nationality, like I mean, sometimes it's hard to talk about this kind of
Correct.
stuff. But still, I wish we could use religion same like our enemies, like everybody using it as for their own nation benefits. We using it against our nation. So like if we're using it against our nation, doesn't matter what religion, all the religions, we're using it against our nation. So like I mean, if you look at Iran, if you are Shia, doesn't matter where you're from. You're Shia from America, from Canada, from any part of the world. You are supporter of Iran. You're supporter of Iran. So that they using that, and they're smart. They become a Muslim, but they didn't become a Muslim Sunni to be controlled by the Arabs. They make it a little bit different. They can control the Arabs. They can control that. They take advantage of that. So like I mean, if you are Ikhwani, you're supporter of Erdogan. Doesn't matter where you're from, which part of the world you live in, you're supporter of him. So he using it for him. He doesn't want. He is Sunni, but he doesn't want to be Sunni like Wahhabi or Salafi, because that helping Saudi Arabia. That is Saudi Arabia. So everybody, like I mean, they using religion as they wearing religious dress to using for their own advantage of their nationality, of their nation. But we are opposite. We are using it against us, against ourselves. That's what I don't want to sometimes be. For me, it's not a friend. I respect every single religion. We are all living in it's one small world we're living in, and there is only one God, and He created all of us. And every single religion said, be a good person, don't kill, don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie. And if you be a good person and love everybody, I am pretty sure any religion, all the God will love you as well. So if you're a good person, if you're a bad person, believe me, no religion likes you. Because you're bad. You're doing bad things. So that's what I believe in. Very simple. Just be a good person. Don't worry if somebody do something bad against you. So many people turn against me because I'm trying to be active and everything else, trying to doesn't succeed or whatever. What I was doing, if I see if he did 1 2 time, 3 time, I'll still go help him out with something. I was good visiting him, talk him nicer. If I know he needs something, he is somewhere, I will be the first one go to. Do you need help? Do you need something? You do 2 3 4 times, then he will feel bad about himself. I'm always trying to let this guy down, but he's still coming back to help me. He is still, like I mean, 2 3 times, and then he will change. You will change him too. Like you will change him too. He said, I shouldn't maybe do that. He's a nice guy because whatever. So like I mean, that's how it is. You start from yourself. You start from yourself, and then you're trying to just if we can do this in Calgary, why cannot do in Vancouver? Why we cannot do in Toronto? If you can do this in all Canada, why they cannot do in the United States? If they can do that, why we cannot do in Europe? So if this is grow, then we can tell our people back home to, okay, well, we can do it in Canada. We're from all part of Kurdistan, all different religions. We are like a sister and brothers. We work together, we live together, we understand each other very well, no problem what dialect you're speaking. Our families, they married to each other. We're all like I mean connected somehow. So do why you guys don't do over there? It works perfect for us here. That's how we have to be. We have to be always a good example for others.
Thank you, Kak Ahmed. Ahmed Benavi, happily married, father of 3, a Kurdish
4.
community leader, father of 4. I didn't
4.
know the 4th. Okay, father of 4. You are a successful businessman in Calgary. You are a community leader for the Kurds. You are currently the president of Canadian Kurdistani Diaspora Center in Calgary as well. So maybe we can finish with that, right? What's next in your activities there?
Well, like I said, it was a great opportunity. Like we had the Kurdistani Diaspora Center, and because this is the bigger organization, I can say it's a Kurdish lobby around the world. That makes me very happy that now we can get all the Kurds, under one umbrella, and we all getting like connected. So in Calgary, yes, I am. In Calgary, yes, I'm a president of Diaspora Center, and I'm also a board member with the Canada Federation as well. And we're working out really good together in Canada, and hopefully the United States will be establishing the lead federation soon. So this we're in the right direction. It's still beginning. It's still beginning. So there we have lots of work to do, and we are all working hard on it. And as we all know, it's going to be like our general conference, like in Europe, coming this year. And because we how what we learned from this last 2 years, what's our challenges, what need to be changed, how can we make it we make it better. And I am pretty sure like I'm even in the right direction, and we have lots of plan. I don't want to say it all in here, because when we say it in here, if we don't do all of it, then people will blame on us. But I mean, we have some plans, and we have some good plans actually, but I don't want to say it, because if in case we cannot do it all, people don't say, oh, you guys say this, you didn't do it. It's better we don't say all our plan what's going to be. But I promise our people things are going forward, and we are doing a lot of better things. It never happened before in Canada. And even personally, I just tell you one thing. I don't want to be, because now I'm making I don't want to make so much promise, but like I said again, stateless to king medal. That's stuck in my head. That's going to be my book.
Okay.
That's going
Thank
to be
you
my
very
book.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kak Ahmed. And for the sake of transparency, I'm proud to be serving in the same board together with you.
Always pleasure. It's always pleasure to see you. Always, when I see you're smiling, you're happy, and it's always pleasure to work with all of you. Like we had a great team. Like I mean, you cannot ask for any more. We are all in the same page. We can work together, and that's one thing make me more energized and work with the diaspora. Especially, I'm talking about Federation of Canada. One time, because we used to have so many meetings, my daughter, she was little, she was very smart. Every time I came out of the meeting, you are not happy, you're not smiling. And my daughter told me, Daddy, when those Canadian people they come out of the meeting, they're always smiling, they're happy, they're laughing, they're having their drinks in their hand. When you guys come out, look like you come from the fight. You guys not happy anymore, don't even talk, whatever.
Right.
So because like that's how was it. But in this federation, it's completely different. When every time I come to the meeting, I cannot wait to see you, to see Ekak Sertip, to see the other one. We make a joke around, we talk, we're in the same page, we never argue. Like, I mean, if I say something, you're taking it, no problem. You say something, I accept it, I taking it, I think about it. So that's what's making me really, really happy. We can do something great because we are we're a great team, and we always come smiling, happy, and understanding each other.
Kak Ahmed, you are one of my own, and I'm very happy to be working with people of my own. I'm Kurdish. I'm not Turkish. I know what I'm not, but I want the world to recognize us as who we are. We're Kurds.
Yes.
We have our own distinct culture. We connect with each other, not with our Turkish, Persian, Iraqi, or Syrian passports. We connect each other with our distinct culture, distinct identity. We are proud to be Kurds. Every people in the world has the right to be proud of themselves. We are proud to be ourselves. It's just a system in the world that punishes us for being who we are. That system is wrong. That system has to change. But we are also very happy in Canada. Canada allows us to be who we are. And we also have to thank Tom Kimmich for nominating you for this medal, and for you to have been awarded for it, for just being who you are, a Kurdish community leader. I hope we'll have more. I know we are having more examples of you, right? I also know there's another text that you are working on, the famous Kurds in North America. There are
Yes.
really interesting names on the list that people do not know, like
Yes.
Google. Google has become a money-making company thanks to a Kurd, Ahmed Kurdistani.
Yes.
Chobani Yogurt, he's very good in USA, bringing the refugees into the system, the immigrants. Hamdi Ulukaya, he's from Dersim. He's another Kurd. We have a Supreme Court Supreme Court justice in Canada. He's a Kurd. We have a quantum physicist, a prominent one in the world, Ibrahim Karimi, again in University of Ottawa, and we have many more. We are a proud people. We want to be recognized with our own identity, and I'm always happy when with my fellow Kurds, because when we suffer back home, we are suffering as Kurds. When the Turks target the Kurds, they know they are targeting the Kurds, even though they don't recognize anything about Kurdish identity. Kurdish language is still forbidden. I could not name my son who was with his original Kurdish spelling, because Kurds don't have this in their alphabet. Turkey is a racist country against the Kurds. When Turkey kills the Kurds, it's Turks targeting the Kurds. But the international community sees it as something that's happening between the Turks. It's not between the Turks. When Saddam was attacking the Kurds, Saddam was attacking the Kurds, not at some Iraqis attacking the other Iraqis. Same in Persia. When Shah was the ruling monarch in Iran, when he was attacking the Kurds, he was attacking the Kurds. And today, when the mullahs attack the Kurds, it's not some Iranians attacking some other Iranians. It's Persian army, Persian-speaking army attacking Kurdish-speaking civilians. They know they are attacking the Kurds. When we suffer as Kurds, but then we have to unite in our joy as Kurds. We have to be happy when we see each other, when we meet each other, and when we do something each other. I'm genuinely happy connecting with you from Duhok, with Kak Sartip from Kirkuk, with Agit from Kamushlo, with Kak Rahim from Roshalat. We're all parts of Kurdistan. The only thing that unites us is our identity. There's something to be happy about. Despite what they had done in 20th century and continuing doing today, we come together, we unite, and we do together. We are together. Of course, I'm happy when I see you.
Of course, me too. Like always, and there's always I don't know what you call. Always one word I heard from, especially our elder people, even the younger people too. Like those days, we said it's our qadar. Qadar. I don't really like that word. When I hear that word all the time, it makes me like nervous. I told him that's not true. There is no qadar. Your qadar is in your hand. You write your qadar in your hand.
Like qadar is destiny.
Yeah. You have to write it by your hand. So
yes.
like that's all you said. I'm agree 100%. But sometimes we have to blame on ourselves as well. So like what we can do, why somebody choosing Turks over us, why somebody choosing Saddam's dictatorship over us, why we cannot be able to make them to choose us. So that's what always a question in my head. Because we have to come with a plan. We have to know their plan first, what they want to do, what they based on, and what they want in over there. Then we can tell them, okay, we are better than them to do that for you, to help you with that way. So that means we have to sometimes stop and think and blame on ourselves too. Maybe we are not good enough. Maybe we are not united. Maybe we are some other stuff. And when I wrote this about the history of Christian North America, I find so many people actually. Like I find so many people I never even thought of it. Like I mean, if I publish it, oh, do we have all those people in North America? As all like I mean, this roles, this famous, we do have them, and just don't forget Tom. So Tom Kemek, like he's our voice, and since he became MP, he's been our voice. We have anything, we always go to him. He always raising our voice in the parliament, and he's the first one in 2016 make a group of 12 MP in Parliament of Canada, always supporting all with anything in any part of Kurdistan. If anything against the Kurds, they were against it. If anything in favor of Kurds, they would vote for it. And those right now, this group is bigger. It's 23 MPs right now.
Wow.
And yeah, it's 23 MPs right now. And now we have like 2 Kurdish candidates too for to be a member of parliament. Hopefully they will make it. And I am sure like that's what we have to do. From this 12, we have to make it 40. We have to make it 50. And if you have 40, 50, if you have 2, 3 Kurdish in there as well,
Yes.
then they can make more friends. That's what we have to do. Then when Canada will say something about the Kurdistan, if you have that voice in the parliament, they're always going to be in our favor. If we don't have this one, if we don't have those friends, so it's not going to be in our favor. I just was on the air the other day, was Radio Ashti, and this is very, I want to make this point one more time because it's very important for me. When I go to back home, or even in here, even sometimes people close to you, they tell you like, why are you doing this 24/7? You're busy with whatever stuff like that. We cannot do anything. We can never be country. Our people don't like each other. They're parties against each other. Just forget about it. They telling me you was small community, like I mean in Calgary or Canada, whatever. So what can you do? What can you do? What can you change? You can change nothing. Like I mean, it's like we have a government. We have the money. Like we have all the embassies here. Our leaders, anytime they want, they can go to White House. They can go to talk to your prime minister. They can go do this, do that. So why you think you're important? This like this community, whatever. What can you change? So when always they asking me this question, it's hard to make them understand. But I want to make it very clear, very clear. So one person in one neighborhood in here, in one city, they can do laws. They can change laws. Even we have Canadian embassy in the regional government of Kurdistan, they have in Erbil, in our capital. Even our prime minister, even our president of Kurdistan, he can talk to our prime minister here. Even if prime minister wants to help him, wants to say yes, he cannot make a decision. He has to go back to parliament, and parliament have to approve that. They have to approve that. If we don't have any Kurdish friends in parliament, and our enemy has more, it won't be approved. Like it won't be approved. But if one of those MP, maybe he's my best friend, maybe he's in my neighborhood, maybe he's your neighbor, he's in your city. If we can have like 5 of these friends in Calgary, 5 in another city, whatever, if we have this group as 40 people in parliament, they're good friend of us, they know about our nationality, they know exactly what they're doing to us. As what you said, they're not Turks killing Kurds, this is Turk killing Kurds. So if they understand that very well, if they can explain that in the parliament very well, so if you have these 40 voices, and when something like it's against the Kurds, if a prime minister, whatever, bring to the parliament, if this 40 people can talk about it, explain it in the right way, maybe there is another 100 of them, they said, yes, we are with you. Yes, that's not good. This is right. So then prime minister can make a decision. So like we're very important in here, like not just as a community. It's one person, it's very important. So if one person in BC fought in one corner of city, you don't know, maybe one of the MPs his neighbor. If he can make him understand who we are, what's happening to us, and be good to him and be a great Canadian citizen, and feel likes him, when he go there, he will always remember him. Oh, no, Kurdish are very good people, actually. My neighbor is a Kurdish. He's perfect. I always see them. They're happy. They're smiling. They're helpful. They're doing this and that and that one. One person can make a difference. So, like,
Ahmed, thank you for being that person and making the difference.
Oh, thank you.
Pleasure to have you.
Same here. Thank you so much for your time. It was always my pleasure to see you. And thanks for doing all of this for the Kurdish nation on rise. Thank you.
With pleasure. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you.